Right. That's what I think is always so funny about this inclusive argument. Jesus is inclusive, but he's not inclusive of sin. That's why he's here.
Right.
And that's what's so funny is people tend to forget that first part. The reason why, yes, Jesus is for everyone, but Jesus came because everyone sins.
Exactly.
And everybody is separated. And I think that's so funny because when you recognize that, something happens or has to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what things like Unity.org kind of fail to understand is God's calling us to something.
Well, I think what we fail to do is think of it as a relationship.
Right.
And so if you think about it, Jesus, as you were saying, he came to repair our relationship with God.
Right.
Right. So when we think about, and I think this is what modern philosophers in quotes, more of like the Hollywood philosophers will teach you or say is that if someone cares about you, they'll accept you for who they are.
100%.
For who you are.
Right.
But they always create a one-way street.
Right.
Right. I can act however I want, and you need to accept me for
that. Right. 100%.
But if I don't like the way you're treating me, then I should cut you out of my life.
Right.
So here's the situation. God doesn't like the way we're behaving.
Right.
And he has the option to cut us out of his life.
Right.
Or offer a way back in.
Right.
And he says it has to be a mutual conversation. It has to be you coming to me, and we work together on this.
Yes.
Right? Now, it also so happens that unlike in mortal relationships,
right,
God is always right.
Right, 100%. Yeah.
Like the relationship that you work on between two friends or spouses or whatever,
right,
there's give and take. There's nothing for God to give, other than love, mercy, and compassion. He doesn't change his definitions.
Right.
What he does is he provides a way for you to get where you need to be.
And I think that that's so funny that you say that, because I do think that informs the way we look at our like you said, our relationships with each other is you need to accept me exactly as I am. But that's not even God's definition of love, right? If you read 1 Corinthians 13, it says that love does not rejoice in wrongdoing.
Right.
So the premise of you just need to that's not real love.
Right.
Real love is throwing a friend a life jacket when they're drowning.
Right.
If you don't, they're going to die. You see what I'm saying? Like we need to redefine that illustration or image,
It's because we don't look at God, or people who think this way don't look at God as a person.
Right.
They look at him as an entity.
Right.
And so God needs to accept me how I am.
Right.
But you refuse to accept God how he is.
100%.
Right. So because you don't want to accept God, but God should accept you.
Right. It's like you go to the beach and it's like a double red flag day, which is like you don't want to swim in a double red flag day. Right. And your friend who can't swim is like, I'm going swimming. And you're like, no, man, you really shouldn't. It's a double red flag day. And they go out there. Love isn't like, well, I'm going to let you do what you want to do. And they go out there and start drowning. And you're like, well, I guess you want to drown.
Right.
Love is saying, like, in spite of that, I am going to throw you a life jacket. And something's got to change.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.